Hello there, my name is Chris Klugh, K-L-U-G-H, and I'm basically making a introduction video. The video that I'm going to put in front of all my other videos on YouTube, on my own personal channel, about my aquaponics venture. This is my second wet test. My next step is I'm actually feeling confident enough to leave this on while I go to work. It's almost there. You know what I mean? I don't want to cycle the water for another 2 or 3 days. These are a couple of goldfish. I put them in about 3 hours ago, I think. And voila, I got a couple of plants in here. So you're already aware that I got rid of the goldfish. That has easily been my largest problem that I've had with this system. And I think also I'm going to add another little bit of like another plant in here. So I have something big in the back, medium, and then small. Alright, well, it's time to shut her down. I've really been not doing much with it. It's just been sitting here idling. And I've said before many times over the years, I'd like to be able to engineer it right. And I just don't have the resources or the space to do so, so it has to be shut down. Otherwise, it's just really just drawing power and running and, you know, it's just sitting in the corner doing nothing really. I was planning on doing this last fall, like September, November kind of area. However, I found that once I got to it, my little pleco guy, he decided he wanted to come out and be visible for a change. And he actually sat up front for probably a good couple, 2-3 months throughout the winter time. And through the later fall there. And I just couldn't pull the plug on him. You know, it's just... So anyway, the other day I noticed that he is no longer with us, so I figured there's no point getting new fish. There's no point. One of the things that I've learned and observed through the aquaponics community is it's largely a DIY interest. There's a lot of people doing backyard types situations, if you will, and there's a lot of working examples of it. It's a really interesting industry. But to go to the commercial side of things, you literally jump in from, you know, a few thousand, $10,000, $20,000 budgets, if you will, and you like it's a multi like there's this one guy who got started probably 10 years ago that inspired me to do indoor state-of-the-art. It's more of a research facility as well, which helps explain the cost. But I think even he was saying to do, again, it's all about scale. But even he was saying, like, the projects that he's working on, they're $100 million startup costs. So that's cool. I mean, whatever. If it works, and that's where industries of scale, you know. But even for me, when I look at Kelowna and BC and Canada is very old school. I think there's a stereotype in Canada that Canada's like this state-of-the-art nation. And, you know, throughout the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and even 90s, it was largely, you know, ahead of the world. You know, it's a G7 country. And over the 2000s, last 20 years or so, Canada really hasn't really done anything progressive for the most part. We've kind of gotten stagnant. In fact, most developed countries now are farther ahead than Canada is. Everywhere I look, you know, any new research projects, like they're in countries I figure like they're doing this. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna get into a rant about Canada because Canada has got its pros and its cons, but I think it's dying and it needs to be rehauled. And anyway. So I'm just going to tear this thing apart. I'm going to basically, like anything, like the buckets, for the most part, all the plumbing is just going to get thrown into the garbage. You know, it can't be reused for anything. I'm going to save the tanks, and I mean, I got another bin. It's not like this, but I got another bin. Whatever I think I can save that's worth saving, like the pumps maybe. But even then, I think, well, if I clean out the pumps, it might be okay to save. But they say they don't want to use an old pump if it's important, right? But yeah, basically I'm just going to get rid of most things. I think the part that's going to challenge me the most will probably be the rocks, the substrate in the fish tank, because I like to keep that. And simply put, I'll just throw it into a bucket, but I have to figure out between now and then to what degree do I want to rinse them off and clean them off. But anyway, I don't expect this to be a glamorous job. I'll probably be at it for a while, just making sure I take it apart safely, you know. But yeah, otherwise than that, it's going to be gone. And again, whether or not in the future I come back to it, will probably it'd have to be under completely different circumstances that I'm not anticipating that's going to happen. I mean, I'm not even looking for it, to be frank, because I've been trying to find it for a few years now, and frankly put, like again, the Canada thing. Canada's a country, but it's the people. The people in Canada are very, well, I'm sure it's with any aging population. We're super conservative. We don't want change. And yeah, Canada's just not progressing at all. And it's the people that are not progressing. So new ideas are threatening and dangerous. And even though we want to see new ideas happening in the world, because it gives us this sense of belief that things are going to get better, but Canada is just not leading the race. It's not even in the race. In fact, there's so many ways it's not leading the race. Again, like 40 years ago it was, but they gave up. It's all money and politics. In any case, so let's just get into this and tear it apart. Alright, so we are all said and done. It is taken apart. I still have to do some cleaning, so I'll probably get in there with a vacuum cleaner and vacuum clean what I can, and then go with a rag and wipe down whatever I can. I have some metal shelves that I'll keep for sure because they're nice and sturdy and whatnot. I forgot about, usually I like to blog with this to kind of take like little notes and things and as I see it. Unfortunately, I kind of got caught into the moment of just getting the work done. There really wasn't too many noteworthy things to really even mention. First off that I noticed is I thought this would be a big problem with cleaning. Now I didn't clean anything yet, but when it dries and it's like it's really hard and kind of crusty and kind of gross, right? Like it's got that, you know. But as soon as it gets wet, it really wipes off really easily. You know, a hose and a rag will just do wonders. So that'll be easy to clean. As far as the substrate goes, I thought that was going to be a bit of a challenge. I thought I was going to have to take it outside and find some way to clean that. But really, I just found just scooping it up with my hand, letting it drain, was the easiest way to get it out, for one. And looking at it, there's no reason that I even think I need to even clean that. I will use that without a problem in a future tank if that happens to be. There's no real problem with it as it is. In fact, it may be a benefit for a new tank because it's got more stuff in it to help the bacteria grow when you're starting to cycle a new tank. So not worried about that. But as far as this corner goes, it's the first thing I installed when I moved in. You know, tearing it apart carefully and putting it back together carefully and as quickly as I can. It still took 18 hours. You know, I had all my shit all piled all everywhere except for my bed because I wanted to sleep in that. That didn't take long to set that up. And then yeah, this was the focus. So to kind of see this corner potentially go vacant, like to see it taken apart, I mean, despite the engineering issues that are solvable, for the record, I do believe they can be fixed. I do believe this can work inside of a house. It doesn't really have good market viability. It'd be more of a hobby thing. You know, somebody's... Because I would reckon that, like, if you were to double the price of what's went into here, maybe even triple it, you could probably 10 to 15x the outcome. You know, it's kind of like miniaturizing things makes things more expensive. But it can be done. But yeah, as far as what's next and all, I mean, like I mentioned at the start, to take this commercially, I used to think it would cost, you know, 2, 3, 4 million or something like that. But I'm seeing that price is growing quite a bit more because you do want industry of scale. I'm not saying that even a $500,000 investment in a very small niche type thing could work, but it's like the bigger it is, even though it costs more to start, your return in the end, if things go well, is the best. The smaller it is, the more expensive and the less return you're going to kind of get. But I do believe this is really important, even if this isn't going to replace the entire food industry. Well, put it another way, and the reason why I got into this is food security is going to be a huge problem. Even today, we're seeing inflation today, like, it's gross. It's gross. You go to the grocery store and you're like, whoa, why is that now that? And it's only going to get worse. We are in for a very, 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 very hard 10 years, and then it's still going to be hard after that because we're adapting. This decade's going to be hard. And I tried, but people just, they wait till the last minute. So frankly, I believe that maybe there is too many ignorant people on the planet. Too many people spoiled on the old days that will not change. They will cling to anything that they can cling on to that resembles what they're familiar with, and that is unsustainable. I don't know how many times, how many scientists and on all sorts of subjects, whether it's environmental or food agriculture or water, or like the way that we use our resources, the key word across it all, unsustainable. Oh yeah, we'll fight. Every single time somebody disagrees with that statement of unsustainability, they are ignorant. I mean, it may not be their fault if they don't know what they don't know, but they might as well be a chicken in terms of intellectual, like they should have no say. Why should they have a say? They don't know anything. They just know what they know, and they're attached to that so much that they will not give it up. So I don't know what I'm going to do next myself, because I've been willing to change for all my life, but if I can't find people to team up and change and go with it, there's no way that's survivable. It's a lose-lose-lose situation that I cannot solve. But in either case, though, this is the last aquaponics video on this system that I will probably make. I don't see how or where, I just don't see it being plausible. So with that said, thanks for watching the journey, the struggles, the good moments, it's not all bad, but it is over, to say the least. So, thank you again, and have a good one.